Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 3. This week, we are going to do a CBA analysis. And this is a type of analysis that is very near and dear to my heart. This is the type of analysis I utilized on my master's thesis. So I find it pretty useful. I've also used it in industry and find that this is just very commonly used. Once again, I hope you'll go into our announcements where I've posted some links to learn more about CBA, as well as it is in our textbook, kind of flowing through. It's in specific areas, and then it's just flowing through almost all of the classroom because it is such an important type of analysis. Now you're going, well, what is CBA? It's exactly just like cost effectiveness. It's like it says, we're looking at costs and we're looking at benefits, and we want the benefits obviously to be more than the costs. Now, if you get into the more complex systems, you may start weighting different costs or benefits depending on what's important to your facility. But definitely we're just looking at costs and benefits. So this project in general is pretty simplistic, so don't get nervous. This is going to be a fun one. So let's go ahead and start. Remember, you can always go into the scenario and then look at the flow chart. I have that pulled up for you. We are doing this middle section right here. I also have a sheet for you, a hints and helps announcement. Just like always, that goes over the CBA analysis. And so be sure to read through that as you go. And let's actually first go back. I'm sure you remember our scenario from last week. So let's go back into the CBA. And then you can read our assignment instructions for this week. That's our first file. And it is going to detail what's going on. We have a pot of money. As most facilities do, we have a number of different groups coming to us, say, hey, here's what we need to do with our money. Here's how we need to spend it. We get different options given to us by 3 different departments. We could potentially do a robot, med scanning, or a surgery checklist technology. All technology options, but we only have enough money to fund one. So we're going to figure out which one is the best use of our money. So obviously something that you've probably heard of in the past. We have to make sure it's cost effective. So it's going to give us our first password right here in next steps. I also detail that in my hints and helps. So we're going to get into this next spreadsheet right here with that password that we just looked at. So we are going to open this guy up right here. I have it opened already for you. And you're going to fill out three different tabs because we have 3 different projects. There's the robot, med scan, and surgery checklist. And I went through the first one to kind of help you fill the first one out, and then I'll have you do it on your own from here on out. So for the first, you're just going to total, which is using the auto sum, and then you can just copy and paste it over and you'll get your totals. We are basically looking at our total benefits versus our total costs. We would never consider a project. Let's say our total costs were $375 and our total benefits were $295. We wouldn't even consider this project because it would not be cost effective. So we notice right off the bat, yes, we're where we need to be. We have more benefits than costs. And so then we can figure out our cash flow. We can take basically our benefits and subtract our costs. That first year, obviously, we have a negative because we did buy the robot. Now, one thing I've noticed in terms past is when you're summing this column right here, a lot of times it'll just put this one in. So students are missing this up here. So when you're doing your auto sum, make sure to highlight all of these cells. And so same thing, you're just highlighting and then you're subtracting benefits minus costs, and you have a totally net cash flow of 80,000. So you're exactly where you need to be. Then you can go down and calculate the NPV. You may have done this if you've taken a finance class. It gives you the formula already, and it's listed up here. We're going to use these different cells to calculate our NPV. And then we are going to go down and do the IRR. And obviously, you know, the same cells, we're just going to be using these cash flows to help us figure out our NPV and our IRR. And then to our most important part of the spreadsheet is we are going to have the benefit cost ratio, which is where we take the total benefits divided by the total costs. So H12 divided by H20, 12 divided by 20, and you get a ratio. And then you can go look on my hints and helps where I tell you the selected project will be the project that has the highest benefit cost ratio. So which one of these three? So you're going to figure out for all three. Once again, this is the NPV formula. If you didn't have that kind of in your basket, oops, and then I think there we go, back where we were. And then the IRR formula using those net cash flows. And so another mistake I see sometimes when you're doing this, you go over to column H when you're doing these formulas, and then you get the wrong amount. Remember, these are totals. You would not need to use the total to find the IRR. So they're just, there to give you a sense of what's happening, and also used to help you when you're doing your benefit cost ratio. So once you decide which project, is the one you want from these benefit cost ratios, you're going to use this you're going to have a password that you're going to enter into the policies and procedures. The policy and procedures, you're going to use the company name. I use this as an example. So if this project is the best one, you're going to enter in UVD Robotics, because we'll do the company name followed by the NPV rounded. So this is rounded to the nearest dollar. So company name, NPV, and this password right here will open your policy and procedure file for the next one that we're going to. So let's go back over. In our previous week, we had all of these different files, and we had to open every single one. Well, this week we are only opening the file for the project that we go with. If you decide you're going to go with surgery timeout, and that may not be the option, it's going to give you a go back. I'm going to go ahead and download one for surgery timeout that kind of shows you what that might look like. If you go to the wrong file, since you are only going to one, because we don't need policies and procedures from 3 projects, because we're only doing one. So if you go in the wrong one, it'll say, try another one. You tried the wrong one, which I think this is probably one of the most fun parts of the assignment, because, it kind of gives you hey, go back. It's like a riddle. So then you'll go back and you'll select the correct one. Once you have the correct one, it's going to give you an actual policy and procedure. And so you're going to read this document. And it's going to give you a lot of different information. See if I can get to that real quick. So it's going to tell you the policy for the item that you select, and you're going to read through it. And at the bottom, it's going to give you a password. And so I'm going to let you to enter this password, use the password in the policy and procedure file. The password is on page 5, and it just gives it to you. And so then you'll be able to open this post file. And so we're going to go to that now, and it's going to give you some data. It's going to show you what happened. We used this new intervention, and then we ended up here versus where we started. So if you want to know where we started, you can go to that initial scenario that we did at the very beginning when this project started. So you go back here and go into the initial scenario, and that's going to give us our intro data. Let's see, it's going to have all sorts of stuff where we started. So it's showing us where we started, and then we're going to look at where we are now. And you're going to save the 3 digits for this one for hospital, the 965 for a future project. And so that's going to be in your post file. Going back to the Henson Helps, I have this, you're gonna put this in the Dropbox like usual, then you can take your quiz. It's gonna give you lots of information. You're gonna be able to enter things in that you already calculated. You may have to do a few additional calculations. Remember to round when needed. Once you finish the quiz, you're gonna upload your quiz results to TaskStream. This is the only assignment of the 3 that you're gonna upload your quiz results, but you're gonna upload that to TaskStream. So if you have questions, read through this, watch the video, let me know if you have any questions. I'm here. I hope you have a great week 3.